Alright y'all, what is up? Hanging with DO Double G again. Got another tackle tip. And while this may not be pertinent heading into the fall, definitely want to keep this in the back burner, somewhere back here in your mind for spring and summer next year. Some of y'all I've already told this, but folks that don't know me, you're new to the channel, this has always been one of my favorite tricks. I am a walking bait fanatic, fiend, whatever. I'm addicted to throwing a walking bait. As I upload some on the water footage in the coming months and years, you will see if I'm going to catch him on a walking bait. If it's possible, I'm doing it like 10 to 10 times. I love to throw a walking bait. So anyways, one thing I do is majority of walking baits don't come with a O-ring on them. A couple that immediately come out to mind is the I'm a Skimmer, famous walking bait, famous herring lake bait, and the Evergreen Justine or JT. They also come with O-rings. They work perfectly fine with them. I normally cut them off. Take them off, get them out of here. I don't want them. I think an O-ring, while it might give it, a little more like erratic sort of rolling and rocking as you're walking it, I feel like I don't have as much control. And for me, control is number one. I want that thing to do exactly what I tell it to on every twitch, every cast, etc. Before I take this thing off here, the only time I throw that O-ring on a skimmer is if I want to kind of make it do a slower wide walk and really kind of get it to like hunt and roll as it twitches. I think the O-ring does help it out there. But normally, where I'm from, Lake Murray, it's all about speed. Speed, speed, speed. So I'm taking that rod and going. There's no like pauses in my retrieve. I am ripping that thing back to the boat, and I need full control for that. So I'm going to take the O-ring off. Get out of here. I don't need you. Ain't no friend of mine. At least not today. So a trick I do is, before I even take a bait like this, the Yozuri 3DB, I'm going to start tying. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to start tying knots with braid or mono or what have you. I'm going to tie anywhere from 3 to 6 on there. And what that does is as you're walking this bait back to the boat, I don't care what kind of knot you're using or what kind of line, it's going to have some play and wiggle up and down on the eyelet, which, again, kind of hinders my control. And that is a no-no. So what I'll normally do is if it's later in the day, it's super hot out, or no wind or something where I think I need to keep it over their head for a while. Daggum iPhone 8 POS. Trying to die on me here. But anyways, if there's a day where I need this thing to stay over their head and really thrash in place, I'm going to take all those knots I tied and I'm going to push them up. And what that's going to do is now the angle that this thing gets twitched at is going to be, below the water line or below that sort of, equal point. It's going to make that thing kind of dive and turn quicker rather than staying on top and doing that tighter S. It's going to go foom, foom. And normally I can get it to spit more, kind of keep it over their heads while still doing a, aggressive cadence. And that's a way to get a lot more bites, because I can't tell you how many times that I swear those couple extra twitches in that strike zone, however big it may be, was the difference between that fish coming up and investigating and turning away and him just coming up and clobbering it. I do it with all kinds of top waters. We got the JT here, same thing. Got all them knots there, and this JT naturally has a pretty tight kind of nice snake sachet. So same thing if I want to thrash a little more, kind of spit. It doesn't really have a cup lip, but it will sort of spit. Same thing, I'm pushing them all up. Or if I think it's a day where I really, really need to work it quick over their head, just I can't let them get even a glimpse of this thing. I'm gonna put them up. It's gonna keep that nose up. It's gonna keep the walk a little tighter, but it'll allow me to just bring that thing back to the boat real quick, and that is a great way to get strikes. In terms of O-rings on topwaters, really outside of pencil poppers, I don't ever keep the O-ring on there. For some folks who, may try this and get frustrated with, your braid or whatever hanging up on the front of your hook, we're going to do this just for the sake of whatever, an example or something. So if that's an issue, right? Let's say I'm getting tired of this thing hanging up on the front of my line. AJ is an idiot. I don't know what he's talking about. Here's another tip. We got a bobber stop here. I think these are like VMC. I think they're mediums or larges. Large is preferred, but as long as it ain't small, it'll normally get the trick done. You can always put 2 or 3 on here to do this. I'm gonna take my line. Get that bobber stopper up there. And just for the hell of it, we're going to tie that skimmer on that we were just talking about. Come on, you daggum. Real. Get with the program. Palomar knot, or excuse me, a double Palomar. Because I have a theory that if there is an improved version of a knot, why the hell would you not tie it? Why would I not want my knot to be better? Never understood that. Yeah, let's just tie a normal Palomar. Okay. Good luck breaking fish off, dude. Anyways, you can laugh at me all you want about this, but I think this makes a difference on Palomars. As I try to get all the twist out of my loops. I want the knot to talk to me. It looks like it wants to go in this way. It doesn't want to kind of roll that way or roll that way. And those twists are what normally create friction in the knot and will normally create breakoffs. Get that thing cinched down. I mean, I'm going fishing with this, but can't ever not tie a good knot. Keep me up at night. Loud ass rattles. We'll do a video about rattles someday. But I digress. So anyways, hey, my bait's hanging up without my O-ring on there, or by doing the knot trick and pointing them all down. Take a bobber stop, put it on the front of that knot. Now you really have some control. That line is always going to stay outward from the bait now. It's going to naturally just always want to stay straight. But 2, if you think that little knot trick is stupid, or you think it, I don't know, you get less bites that way because of all that thread and stuff hanging off the nose, you just kind of push your bobber stop onto your knot. It helps create some tension on the eyelet. And now, yeah, same deal. If I want it to stay down, keep it over their head, it'll wiggle a little, but it's staying for the most part down there. I might have to fix it every other cast or something, but it's good in a jiffy. Same thing if you want to put it up, yada yada. But yes, this also works with whopper ploppers, poppers, anything where you're kind of doing that, chugging a bait or whatever. Put a bobber stop on the front. That will always help save you. I think it helps too on Murray when they like to come up and smack your bait and knock it in the air. It comes up in the air. Can't tell how many times it's done one of those numbers. And they're not going to come back and touch it, or if they do, they don't really get it well. So when you put that bobber stop on the front, that thing gets knocked in the air by a herring eater, it lands, it's ready to go again. Catch that son of a gun. But anyways, those are some